Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. This is Everyday Artist and welcome. This is Rogue. Say hi, Rogue. Say hi. Hey. Today is Father's Day, June 22nd, I think. And sorry, the dogs. Come on, Hank. You can get up here. Come on. And, okay, he doesn't want to get up, but he doesn't want to go away. I think it's June 22nd. I'm not positive. Time is flying away. And I'm filming this on Sunday night instead of Monday morning because I have a doctor's appointment Monday morning. And rather than rush or do it later in the afternoon, I decided to go ahead and film it tonight, and I'll post it tomorrow. So I have some crochet. I have some crochet. Some different. I started a new crochet project, even though I'm not done with the projects I have, and. I have an FFO and a finish in cross stitch. I have a new start in cross stitch, so I have a lot to go over today. I'm going to show you my FFO first. I finished my berry. This is the 250 America berry by Erica Michaels. I hand sewed it. I made pins. My boutonniere pins that I found, they had the silver tops on, and I'm like, well, they'll just have to do. And they're just pins that I made. And yeah, so I got it done before the 4th, which makes me happy. I don't have any of my other 4th of July FFOs here to decorate the house with, so it makes me happy that there's at least one. And then I have a finish. It's a design of my own that is not a Father's Day design, but a father's design. Does that make sense? No. It says, "A father's love protects from life's storms." I released this over a year ago, and it's taken me that long to finish. Now, I started it before that, but then I had the eye surgery, and I couldn't work on it then, and I lost my mojo. Working on 32 count was getting impossible for me before my eye surgery, and then it took a while for me to start working on it. And then now I'm struggling with 32 count again, so I'm wondering if I have scar tissue or something. They said that might happen. Anyway, it's about like that, and I intend to FFO it soon, but I wanted to go ahead and show it to you. The pattern is already on the Three Sisters Creative Etsy shop. And it's there's a link below. There's a link tree below, and there's also where if you'd rather it say "the Father's love," that pattern is in there. So that's my finish, and then I showed you that I finished. Had I finished it then? The tank that I was making for my niece. If not, here's a picture of it finished. And I gave it to my sister to give to my niece. Maybe I hadn't completely finished it. I don't know. I gave it to my sister to give it to my niece on Friday. And she was finishing a little top sweater for her as well that she was going to send to her I don't know, sometime this week. And I said, well, I want you to send them both at the same time. And this evening, she sent me a picture of it done. I was like, yay, that looks beautiful. And I called her and I said, oh, that's really pretty. I said, would you throw she calls it a Hanneken instead of a mannequin because she makes a lot of things for her daughter and she can't try them on her daughter because her daughter doesn't live in town. So she calls it the Hanneken. I said, why don't you throw the one I made for her on the Hanneken and give me a picture of it, worn, kind of. And she couldn't. The inner tank would not fit over the shoulders of the Hanneken, which doesn't surprise me because I remember telling you about the issues that I had with it last week. So, yeah. So I had her take it apart. And here's a picture of it on the Hanneken, just the outer tank, and it's beautiful. And she can just pick a tank to put on to wear underneath, and that's fine. And it was the tank I fell in love with, not the inner tank. So I'll just frog the outer tank and turn it into something else. So that's fine. Because there are plenty of patterns that I can turn it into. And I'll have the better part of 4 hanks of cotton to do it with, so that's good. So I've been going to, they're not really stitching groups, they're more like crafting groups. One at the library, and I went to a new one at an association clubhouse kind of thing. Not my association, but the association of somebody else who goes to the library one. And it was real fun. We enjoyed it. And somebody there was she was destashing, so she had a whole bunch of yarn from her stash. And she had 3 hanks of this. And I said, well, I like that yarn. I've used it before. And 3 hanks of it, I can make something with that. So even though I was in the process of working on my flower pot, which I had made some more of these petals. I said, see, because they're going to turn out like this, they're just smaller. Sorry, they're not showing them to you real well, am I? So I have these, and even though I was in the process of that, I said, wouldn't it be fun to start something with these 3 skeins of this yarn that I got? And I spent the better half of the rest of that day looking for something that would work with acrylic yarn, blah, 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 blah. And I kind of wanted to make a top for myself. Not a top, not a shirt. It's too hot here to wear crocheted tops that are not, little. In my age, I don't want to wear a lacy top. I just don't. Not the kind of lightweight thing that would be needed for Phoenix. But there is a capelet that I had seen that I fell in love with, but I couldn't find the yarn that she used because the person that she bought it from stopped making it. And I've seen it for sale, a couple of times, but you need a lot of yarn. I've seen something similar for sale. And it's this. I haven't printed out the pattern, so I don't have a pattern to show you. This is not a shirt, it's a cape. She calls it a capelet because it just goes over the head. And something like that is the type of sweater I could wear, like, you know, on a Sunday morning to church or something like that. Yeah, because if it's too warm, I can just take it off, and if it's too cold, I'll wear an actual sweater, you know. But I started it, so I have 2 rows done. It goes pretty quickly, and it's the same stitch over and over and over again. So, well, it's kind of the same stitch. It's pretty much the same stitch. It changes a little bit, but it shouldn't take me a super long time to finish it. But I was really happy starting that. I may put it down and work some more on my flower pots because I really should get that done. But you know, I'm crocheting for not as a job, as a hobby. So does it really matter what I'm crocheting? No. All right, now the Midsummer Midsummer Stitch, Midsummer, yeah, the virtual retreat is coming middle of July, and I wasn't planning on signing up for a class. And the class project that I saw, I really loved, TinyModernist. It's 3 panels with one a fox, one a moth, one a owl. It's called, what is it called? I don't know, night something. But I decided I didn't want to pay $35 for a class. And I had decided that I wanted to start keeping track of what I've been working on. Have I the last 2 days? No, I haven't. I need to go back and write that down. But there was a class there on making a journal cover, a stitched journal cover. And I had already purchased this. And so it's got a little rubber band closure, and it's fine for me just like this. But I thought, well, that's fun. And the class was only $10. Well, I don't know if I didn't read the description well enough or if I didn't understand the description. But this is what she's showing you how to do is make a cover. I'm starting this wrong. You buy this cover to go over, and you can put like little sleeves of calendars and stuff like that in, and it itself is a cover. It's a plastic thing that you cover with your stitching. That is $30. So all told, it would be $40 plus the cost of the Ada for your stitching, plus your threads, plus the pattern that you want to use to put on it, plus the fabric for the inside. No, but I'm still kind of excited about it, you know, because I was like, well, that'd be so pretty. So I'm going to go to the class and see how they do it, but of course I'm going to have to do it a different way. This would not fit in that even if I wanted to buy it. So I went through all of my patterns that I already have, and I found this that had the dimensions that I needed. This is by TinyModernist. It's called Dark Forest. Might have been at the Jingle Ball, or it might have been at another. It was at a virtual event that I bought it. The growling you hear in the background is my dog. I guess she wants me to let her back out. I don't even remember what I was saying. Anyway, I found that pattern, and I had this fabric that I had dyed for Raven's Harvest Moon, Raven's Winter Moon, by Counting Puddles, that I'm going to do. Helen D is hosting a stitch along kind of, and I thought I would do that, but I didn't like this color for that. But I thought it'd be perfect for this. Now it's not green like this, but it's dark enough for the whites to show up on, and I think the other colors show up okay. So I started it. It's a little bit smaller. A 14 count would have been better. This is a 16 count, but it should be fine. This is the height and this is the depth, and it should come back about here. So I think it'll be fine and it'll look good. And that's the beauty of this. If I want to put a different pattern on at some other time, I can. So I am pausing my other stitching to work on this until I get it done, or at least until the 1st. Because on the 1st, I have to start cross stitch camp for July. Yeah, so my whip go is kind of falling behind. But speaking of whip go, one of my whip go calls for this month, the second one, was Silver Creek Samplers, A Sweet Memory. And it says, "It seems like only yesterday that you were very small and left for me a memory of handprints on the wall." And as I mentioned before, I got my son when he was 2, so I didn't have him when he was learning to walk, and we didn't ever play ABC blocks. So I designed a swimming suit with swim goggles. This is the bottom of the hand. This is the bottom of the word. And I added in the same font, "Save the Citizen." Now that's from a movie called Sky High. And he used to play this game with me in the pool, where he would drag me kicking and screaming usually from the shallower end of the pool to the deeper end of the pool, because my son could swim circles around me by the time he was six years old. So he was a very strong swimmer. And so I designed this part to go with this. And I did work on it one day. I was supposed to work on it 5, but I did work on it one day. And I may work on it, that's upside down. I may work on it some more this month. I have a few days, and add some more to it, because I am taking breaks from that now and then. It's just today was church, and I fell asleep afterward. I did some more work on my flag. I thought I was going to get all the way across, but these satin stitches, they take a long time. And so by the time I was working on that, I was like, okay, my time for working on this has expired. So I'll just keep plugging away at it. That's all I can do, is keep plugging away at it. At first I thought I would use Stitchy Prose Anchored Tails, since I was already working on it and I'd love it. The problem is that the extra fabric on this is going the wrong way. I would need it to come back this way, and it's going out this way. So it wouldn't have worked. Plus this is too short. But the image itself is a little bit small, because that's almost the entire depth of it. But I would have loved having this on there. So I did add some more seaweed here. And I couldn't remember if I showed you the last that I had worked on this. I was working on this. It was my first Whip Go call for June. And I was working on this bottom area down here. I finished one skeleton and I put its little face in. And I got the face put on the second one. Now I am going to outline those in this 580 like that, but so I have to finish the skeletons and then outline it. And then I think I'm missing these two things. I've got to finish this and then this word here, these words. And then there's some more backstitch. So I am far from being done, but I'm getting closer. Did I show you the whole thing? I've been working on this for a few years now, so another year isn't going to be horrible. Although I want to spend more time on it. I'm going to arrange my Whip Go very differently next year. I'm not going to put any new starts on it. I have a habit of doing new starts. I don't need Whip Go to tell me to do new starts, but that way I don't feel like I'm forced to do new starts. What I liked about having, Whip Go doesn't force me. It's a suggestion, not a straitjacket. But what I liked about that is I could go through patterns that that I haven't started yet and say, okay, yeah, start that this month. But then I only work on it one day, so it's like barely started and I'm not enjoying that. So Temperature Pets by JaceBreeze. This is up to Thursday last week. I have a red cat. This is a lot of stitching, so I think I did Friday over here, and I have to do Friday. Anyway, yet Friday will also be red. And then we actually had a cooler day. It was only 102 yesterday. Okay, I know that sentence doesn't sound right, but it was 108 the day before or something like that. So, and we did have in here, we had a day that was 113. So it's getting hot. And then my last item for today is in this house we do Geek by CrazzyStitch. And I'm really sad that there's not a Lord of the Rings reference in here. Had I thought about it before, I would have replaced something with a Lord of the Rings reference. So I'm going to see if I can figure out how to add that. And getting close to the bottom of the pattern here. So right now I have this house. If you know of any suggestions of how I might incorporate it, Lord of the Rings and that, I'd appreciate your suggestions. Well, that's all I have today. I feel like I've been racing through everything and with the dogs and all that. I'm sorry about that. So I'm going to try to get all those pictures downloaded so that I can show you what's going on with that top. It looks great with just the outer tank. So I'm fine with that. I'm not at all upset about that. That's the part I fell in love with. and I'm enjoying working on that piece for the notebook. I just hope I can incorporate what I learned from the class to cover this. If not, I'll figure it out and I'll do it. And that's all I have for you. If you haven't signed up for the Midsummer, I remember it's Midsummer. I remember it's July something. Midsummer Stitch, I think. It's mid-July. It's Friday and Saturday, or no, Saturday and Sunday. This time it's not a Friday. Saturday and Sunday. It's a virtual event. It only costs $13, I think. I mean, it's great. It's a great thing, and they've got stitching rooms and classes and meet and greets and stuff like that, and exclusive patterns, and it's a lot of fun. So look into it. I think you'd enjoy it. I sure do. I enjoy these virtual events, even though I signed up for a class that I misunderstood what I was doing. So anyway, thanks for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.